Hello, and thank you for joining me on this very brief introduction to the neurological levels of development by Robert Dilts. This development model is incredibly powerful in helping us understand ourselves as a system and also teams and organization. So I hope you find this very quick run through useful.
So the first aspect of the model to appreciate is that the pyramid or triangle in the center here represents the system of a person. It also explains how teams and organizations work, but for the main part, in this little introduction, we'll be talking about the triangle being the system of a human being. So it will help us understand the interactions and interdependence of the component parts forming the person. The pyramid is set within an environment, the outside world, the where, when, and with whom we interact. The first level is behavior. This is what we do, how we act. This is, of course, all that we see of a person and all that they see of us. We know that there is a lot more to a person than their behaviours. The next level is capabilities. This includes our knowledge, skills, thinking processes, our plans and direction, our strategies, and also our potential. It's the level that includes all you can do. As we move further up the pyramid, or deeper inside the person, we come to the level of beliefs and values. As simple descriptors, a belief is something that is true for you. It doesn't matter whether you share that belief with millions of others or if you're the only one who holds that belief. If something is true for you, it's true for you. It ticks the box until that changes. Your values are things that are important to you. They are sometimes described as your principles or drivers. They provide your judgment criteria. They help you decide what you're going to do, very key to your decision making and the decisions about how you're going to spend your time. This level of beliefs and values is very significant in defining who you are and how you live your life. Our beliefs and values develop throughout our lives. Many of them are determined by our environment, the world we live in, our families, friends, and peers. Many of them we've had since childhood, but they change as the process of ourselves develop. And at the top end of the pyramid is identity. This is the sense of who you are, a culmination of your beliefs and values, capabilities, and behaviours. It's not always something that's easy to articulate, but if you ask yourself the question now, who am I? I'm imagining that you're able to connect with something. Perhaps that's something that's been with you since childhood and is still there and lets you know you are you. And above this is a connection to something outside oneself, something bigger than oneself, something that we're making a contribution to, something we're connected to, our purpose for being here, the big why are we here? This is different for everyone. For some, it might be that connection and contribution to family, for others, religions, for others, nature or the universe. It's the link between the individual and the outside world. So there's the model at its simplest. And there are three key features to bear in mind, and these features really help to enable us to use the model as a development model. The first feature is that the flexibility and stability varies from level to level. There's greater stability at the higher levels, identity, values, and beliefs, and greater flexibility at the lower levels, capability, and in particular, behaviours. In fact, behaviours are geared for adaptation and to be flexible. This is one of the reasons why behavioural level is the best place for any feedback to be shared with someone. It's at this level you can be far more specific, and should the person choose to take account of your feedback and make changes, they have the capability, they'll be able to make and be flexible at the behavioural level. The second feature describes the fact that changes at the higher levels will always impact lower levels. This is an incredibly powerful understanding. It explains why working at the values and belief level is so much more powerful in supporting sustainable behavioural change than working solely at the behavioural level. And a simple way to ascertain what someone's values are is to ask the question, what is important to them? The response provides insight and leverage for motivating behavioural change. And the third feature, like with any system, articulates that it's in alignment that the system is at its most effective and resilient, when each level is supporting and aligned to the other. When these are aligned, this is the perfect operating system. When there's a distortion or a disconnect between the levels, that's when stress can occur in the system, and this for people can be migraines, backaches, illness, frustrations, irritations. So remember, a system at its most efficient, effective and resilient is one that's aligned. So that was a speedy run through the development model. And I hope it's whetted your appetite and given you food for thought to find out a little bit more about it. To wonder how not only can it be useful for oneself and individuals' development, but also for teams and for organisations.
So there you go, a fabulous model that you've just had an insight into. And if you want to find out more, feel free to contact Kevin or myself at First Position Performance Development.